All right. Okay. So I think we can start. Again, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the info session about the PhD program at GBSB Global. My name is Dr. Wiktor Patena. I'm the dean of this business school, and I'm going to introduce you into our PhD program. Let me share my screen. So we can discuss the program. Okay. Well, first of all, just a couple of words about GBSB Global. We are a business school which is located in 3 campuses, Malta primarily, but also Barcelona and Madrid, both in Spain. Well, as you can see here from the slide, we are accredited by a government agency, Malta Further and Higher Education Authority. So the program is officially accredited by the Maltese government. We also have some other accreditations, as you can see below, and rankings. They refer to the business school as such, but not all of them necessarily to this program, because the program was accredited over a year ago. We started the first cohort a year ago. So just as an example, ACBSP, which is one of the major professional accreditation bodies from the United States, we were accredited with them a few years ago, and then re-accredited, but at that time we didn't have the PhD we didn't run the PhD program yet. But again, what's important is that we are fully accredited, officially accredited by the government, the governmental agency of further and higher education in Malta, which means it's a European accredited program. Let's just start with the facts. You can see the title of the qualification, which is Doctor of Philosophy in Innovation Management. In the academic world, there are certain academic levels on which the programs are being offered. This is level 8, as I said, accredited by MFHEA. Total contact hours 320, and this is a full-time program we are offering, which takes 3 years. Could be extended. I will explain later. If, for example, for someone the 2 years to produce the dissertation will not be enough, then the extension of 1 year is also possible. So let's talk about the program. The program structure is relatively flexible and designed for aspiring scholars, just like most of the PhDs. It's focused on both the research skills, but also some cutting-edge topics. And we believe it's prepared very well students for academic and professional careers, basically in innovation management. But having said that, innovation management is a relatively wide field. And even looking at the research proposals of our existing current PhD candidates, really there's a big range of projects, some in digital businesses, artificial intelligence, knowledge management, entrepreneurship, blockchain, technology innovation, fintech, etc. So in each area, innovation is possible. So irrespective your area or your expertise, if you planning or if you aspire to touch upon some innovation-related topics. This program is wide enough to capture that. Now, who is it for? Well, first of all, because of the admission criteria, there's one main admission criterion, which is the possessing the master's degree officially accredited by again one of the official government agencies, just like MFAGA, which is just mentioned. I'm saying this because in some countries, what is allowed is to offer private degrees, which are not government accredited, and they are fine just to give you some professional knowledge and education, but unfortunately they're not good enough to progress to do PhD. So you have to have an officially accredited master's degree to be admitted to this PhD. Of course, it's also for professionals, practitioners with different diverse backgrounds, those who aim to drive organizational progress through innovation in their existing companies. Also for people from academia, lecturers, research assistants, administrators, who see the future in academia, because this is the popular pathway of development. To start as a lecturer, then to do the PhD and progress to be the assistant professors, associate professor, full professor, etc. Just one comment here, because I can see that sometimes people think now that the world is changing so much. Actually, what is needed only for successful career is certain skill, technical skill. For example, I've met people saying that, oh, I can code in Python and I'm really doing very well. I have a well-paid job. I don't need any degrees, anything, just to progress in life and have a successful career. Well, I'm not saying it's not possible, but from my experience, sooner or later, especially unless they have their own business, but working in a huge organization, one day they will sit in the HR office, and they will discuss promotion, and they will see the glass ceiling, sorry, above their heads, because, well, they need certain arguments to be promoted. And one of the major arguments is to have certain degrees, master's, MBA, PhD. So I think this is worth considering. Degree really helps at some points in your life. But also, again, even from my experience, I kind of took the similar pathway. Having an MBA at some point of time and then having a PhD was really such a breakthrough in my personal career. It opened so many doors, so many different careers. I started my own company. Then I became the dean, I became the provost. Really, I can see that it changes so much just with the degree itself. Of course, the degree also means having certain skills, having much more knowledge, but that's what degrees typically represent. Okay, going back to the PhD, this is the structure of the curriculum. So we have some core subjects, then we have some electives. But if you look at the structure here, you will see what's happening year after year. You can see the years on the right side. So the first year is purely coursework, right? You will just do first the 4 courses, mostly, as you can see, on methodology of research of different kind, qualitative, quantitative. Then you will have an elective, one of those in line 5. either knowledge management in learning organizations or artificial intelligence and the future. And then finally, you will have to, I know that when you apply, or maybe some of you did apply already, you will have to, or you had to submit a research proposal. But this was just the initial stage, yes. But once you do all these courses on research methodology, the research proposal obviously will change and will be much more serious. So there will be a short course about designing the actual research proposal for your dissertation. And that's it in the first year. So the first year is just coursework. But then the other 2 years are purely working on the PhD dissertation under the supervision of your supervisors. So I would say the PhD we are offering is mostly by research, because the bulk of your time and the bulk of your time of your work will be a focus on research and just producing the PhD, eventually PhD dissertation. So again, just to be a bit more specific, in the first year, as I said, you will have modules on traditional research methods, but those are something a bit more specific, something about research to do with innovation or entrepreneurship or knowledge management. But basically, this is the courses given in the first year. But in the second year and third year, you will start. After having a research proposal defined, you will be engaged in the actual research, data collection, analysis, and then designing and writing the dissertation. What is also important, you will also move towards learning how to present research, how to publish a paper, because as you will see in a moment, one of the requirements of the PhD is to submit at least one scholarly article for publication before you actually present your dissertation at the even pre-defense moment. We're not talking about publishing because the publication cycle is very long. It may take 1 or 2 years, so you will never manage to publish before you finish your dissertation. So submitting is good enough for the sake of the meeting this requirement in the PhD program. And as I said, the third year is fully dedicated to writing a dissertation. By the way, there are 2 choices or 2 options you may have. The choice is between what was typical in the past to write a monograph, so one dissertation on one topic, or the other option could be a collection of a number of separate scientific articles. Of course, they have to be linked somehow, more or less in the same field, or trying to solve the same problem. But that's an option as well. We call it an article-based dissertation. So again, you can opt for the monograph, or you can opt for a collection of papers. But there's no difference in terms of the scientific quality between these 2. You can freely choose between these 2 forms. Of course, the amount of words or the length of the dissertation doesn't really depend on your choice. It should be between 20 and 80,000 words anyway, whatever your choice is, whether you choose to write a monograph, or whether you choose to have a number of articles. Of course, you would like to see some original research, and the dissertation itself is written under the supervision of the faculty supervisor. Well, you will have to submit a paper. I'm assuming this will end up having a publication as well. during or after you defend your PhD dissertation. So, because as I said, the PhD we are offering is basically done by research. It's a PhD by research, because 2 years out of the 3 is doing research and writing the dissertation. So what is really crucial, and I also remember how important it was when I was doing my PhD, it's essential to have a great mentor, supervisor, PhD supervisor. Of course, we have a pool of supervisors. Well, I just picked 4, just not to make the list very long, just to give you some names or some examples. So we have a few supervisors in the pool you can choose from, or they would rather choose you, or kind of this will happen bilaterally. As you can see, with the first gentleman I know personally, I mean, I know all of them, but especially the first one, his PhD comes from Harvard University. He's a great scholar, actually specializing in innovation, or innovatica, it's called sometimes. Then we have Angela Bisignano, who is Italian. Then we have Dina Aslamazishvili, who is from Georgia. Then we have Alexa Pasmiao, who is from Bucharest. Of course, because as I said, there's a range of topics in the program, in the PhD program we are offering. Many of the dissertations seem to be to do with technology, new technology, AI, blockchain, fintech, etc. Well, many of those supervisors I'm just showing to you may not be able to help much sometimes. So you also have a choice to suggest a supervisor, someone maybe you know from your master studies, or just you've been in a field, in a certain field, and you have some connections, and you know someone who is a PhD and you think would be a great supervisor. Well, this is also a choice. You can suggest someone to be a supervisor. Of course, well, the name has to be approved by our PhD committee, because there are certain conditions for you to know, for someone to qualify as a PhD supervisor. So first of all, this person, of course, needs to hold a PhD degree. They have to be experts in the field. They have to have quite a few publications in the field, just to prove they have some expertise that will help you. And also there's a metric in the academic world which is called H index. So the minimum H index this person should possess is 3. Just briefly, H index is, let's say, if someone's H index is 3, it means that this person has at least 3 publications, each of which has at least 3 citations. So 3 people cited this paper, which means, well, the paper was popular, and then when someone was writing on a similar topic, they found the paper and cited the paper because it was a great contribution to this field. So again, there are some conditions to become the PhD supervisor. Again, PhD from a field, he should be a well-known, recognized researcher in the field with a few publications or several publications, and the H index of minimum 3. So the choice you have is, yes, you can look into the pool of PhD supervisors we have, just like the ones I'm just showing you, or you can suggest someone you met at some point in your life and you think he's contributing a lot to the field and would be a great help to you as a supervisor. Once our PhD committee approves, he might become your PhD supervisor. Well, because of the faculty we have, the supervisors we have, I think you can learn a lot from the team, and hopefully you will become expert in the field, someone who is actively engaged in research, innovation. You can have access to some resources we offering. You can participate in some seminars, workshops, just to enhance your research skills. Well, I was talking about this a bit, but as I said, the PhD really changes a lot in many people's lives, creates new career prospects. The high employability is one of the arguments. The competitive salaries is another. Of course, you can work quickly, progress in your academic career. If you're already a lecturer, you may have new industry roles. Might be easier to launch a startup, create some new business models. And basically, you will most probably have a lot of global opportunities because it opens so many international roles, networking, conference opportunities. As I told you, well, I think actually all these things happened to me. Yes, employability, competitive salary, academic career, industry roles, entrepreneurship. As I told you, I started my own business once having the proper expertise in the field, which is the company valuation, and also global opportunities. Before being the dean here, I was a dean of the huge business school in Dubai for 9 years. Okay, and now just a couple of technical details just to finish with. Now, of course, if you're interested in the program we are offering, you have to submit the online application with the required documents. There's a small application fee to pay. Then you will be invited to the interview, and then you will have to wait for the admission decision from our team. Well, basically, we start the new cohort every fall. So the next cohort will start in October 25. But every month we review the applications. So you typically within a month, you will get a reply saying if you qualify or if you could be admitted, if you qualify as the PhD candidates. And then you will just have to wait a few months. Well, if it happens here, just to start the program. Well, what is required apart from these things I just explained is that you have to, of course, complete the application form. You have to write, and that's important, the 2,000 words research proposal, also the personal statement explaining why you're interested, and present the academic transcripts. As I said, this has to be a officially accredited master's degree, plus the proof of English proficiency, because the language of instruction at GBSB Global is English, and also have 2 letters of recommendation. Well, I'm sure the admission team will talk about more about the tuition fees, but you can have a short look. So we have tuition fees for the European applicants, €12,000, and then for the non-European applicants, which is 24. But we offer discounts of 20% to our alumni and 30% discount for our faculty and stuff. Okay, so the advice is just to try to register if you think you're ready and you have all these necessary documents, and then wait for the admission team to guide you in the process. I think that's all for me. I think we'll have a Q&A session now, in case there are some questions from the applicants, and I know that we also have the sales team. Yes, I can see some questions in the chart. Yes, I just mentioned this. Yes, that's in the PhD regulations. You will see once you become candidates. There's a 1-year extension possible if you fall behind the schedule. So, what typically it happens that's because this is the 3-year PhD program. Most of the PhDs are 4-year programs. And honestly, as you may know, it's not easy to write a dissertation, which is like a scientific paper, in a year or two. So the delay may happen at this stage. Probably not at the classwork stage, because that's modules are and courses are something we are used to. So again, if you don't manage to complete your dissertation within 2 years, then typically you will have to ask for the extension, which is not automatically, but will be granted if you have some reasons. So I hope I answered the question. Okay, any other questions? Yeah, please feel free to use the chat. Or you can just use the mic. All right. Well, I don't see any questions, right? Then I think we'll. Okay, there's one. Okay. So can I continue? Let me open the whole. Okay, fine. So let me go through the questions. Okay. So the next question is, I can be admitted into the MBA program. Okay. Well, this is actually the question you have to ask our admission team. To be honest, I don't remember all these details in terms of the admission criteria. Okay, please go to ask the question to the admission team, or I'm assuming someone who is watching will get back to you. Okay. Okay, I answered the question about what happens if you fall behind the schedule. So there's an extension is possible of 1 year. Is it possible to change my research topic after starting the program? Yes, it's possible. But advice is to do it within 1 year when you're doing just the classwork. Yes, because once you start dissertation, then changing the topic would probably result in an extension. But yes, within the first year, yes, you can. It's easy to do. But later on, the risk is that you will delay your progression. Okay, the next one. Can I continue? Sorry. working full-time while pursuing your PhD, how many free time do I need for my PhD? Okay, but this is a great question. It's a full-time PhD. But the modules we are offering, as I told you, the first year is coursework. So you will have 6 courses, basically. Most of them are pre-recorded sessions. So let's say when you have one module, you will have quite a few pre-recorded sessions for every week. And then also you'll have a couple of 5, if I'm not mistaken, live sessions, just to cover the content, discuss some questions, doubts, etc. So basically, the schedule is very flexible, yes, because you can watch the pre-recorded sessions or presentations whenever you want. And the live sessions are just 5 in each module, and they usually happen in the afternoon or evenings. So, you know, it's not really, it won't be very difficult to follow. So that's the coursework. So again, the coursework is pre-recorded sessions. You can watch them at your own time. It's called asynchronous. And the live sessions are synchronous, so you will have to attend them, but they typically happen in the evenings, so it doesn't require a lot of effort just to attend the 5 sessions per module. And then the remaining 2 years is dissertation. And dissertation is just individual work with your supervisor. Supervisor has about 40 hours for meetings with you, but this happens individually. You will schedule certain meetings with the supervisor according to his and your own schedule. So I believe is really very flexible. So you can easily combine having a full-time job and still pursuing this PhD. We have examples of even people having academic careers, teaching full-time. They combine this with doing the PhD easily. Of course, don't get me wrong, PhD is a huge effort, intellectually, also time-wise, mainly to not so much when it comes to the coursework, I would say, but in order to produce a dissertation. It's usually, so this time might be very busy, but still it's possible to combine having a full-time job and doing a PhD. Well, again, the question, is it possible to change my research topic? Okay, I think I answered this question. So yes, it's possible. Advice is to do it within the first year, because then it would be difficult and probably would result in a delay of your defense and graduation. And then other in the program. Good question too. Well, so we have in the first year we have 6 basic modules. Most of them are about the methodology of research. The assessments in these modules are rarely exams. I'll give you a few examples. Typically, it will be a project or a poster or a report. Of course, because I said we have live sessions, so the online participation will also contribute to your let's say grades in a course. But as you can see, most of the assessments are practical. So again, written assessment, report, project, sometimes poster, which is the typical way to present your research ideas in the academic world. This would be typically the kinds of assessment you will have during the programs. Basically, there will be very few actual exams. Of course, the final exam will be the evaluation of your dissertation. And let's not forget, the highlight of any PhD is the public defense of your dissertation. So you will have to go to defense of your dissertation, which is public, apart from the PhD committee and the faculty from our school. Anyone could come and participate in the defense and ask you questions as well. So usually this is very stressful, but that's how the PhD works. Okay, I think I covered. Let me check again. I think I covered all the. Okay, you say, can someone please help me with the link to join? Okay, so Sergey, maybe you can, or maybe you did already, has to provide the link. Okay, fine. I don't see any more questions. If not, well, let's call it a day. I wish you all the best and good luck. And really, I recommend doing the PhD with us for a couple of reasons. Well, it's a bit shorter than elsewhere. The program is fully officially accredited by Malta Further and Higher Education Authority, which is recognized in the whole world as the academic, official academic European degree. The delivery is done in a way that makes it possible to combine having a even full-time job and doing the PhD. It's mostly 1 year of classwork where you can have the pre-recorded sessions and a few live sessions. But then the essence of the PhD is everywhere to work on your dissertation and then defend it publicly at the end of this journey. So I wish you good luck with the PhD journey. Please contact our admission team. They know all the details. But also, if you want to contact me again and ask more questions, well, feel free. I'm sure the admission team will be able to give you my email address.